So let's talk about that other Oklahoma team. Yeah.
Don't ask me to explain what I saw last Saturday. That's all I ask.
I mean, I was just stunned. It was really stunning. And Mike Gundy was very candid about his assessment of the game. Yeah. Had to put in some bleeps, Yeah, K-State just trampled Oklahoma State. What was it, 48-0? Is that the score?
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, I was stunned. Not that K-State won, but because I did pick Oklahoma State, but just how lopsided it was. Like Jenni said, this league has been parity filled this year. So where does Oklahoma State go from here? And do you guys think that they could get it together and potentially get back to Jerryworld? John?
I'm going to say the odds are against them to get back. Looking at K-State's schedule here, they've got a home game against Texas, and then they go to Baylor, to West Virginia, and close at home against Kansas. I think they could win all 4 of those games. I think 3-1's a very likely scenario. And I just think they've got the edge there. But obviously Oklahoma State still has to play Oklahoma, and they've got some winnable games here: Kansas, Iowa State, West Virginia. I mean, those are winnable, and but they would have to have TCU or K-State really stumble a little bit for them to get back.
Yeah, I think that the head-to-head tiebreakers that Oklahoma State doesn't have, with losing to TCU, losing to K-State, they're going to need help. They're going to need help from some other teams, and not to say it couldn't happen, because I think there are some, just because of the way the league has gone, you could see some teams beating those 2 teams. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I do think it's going to require help for Oklahoma State. And it's also, I think there's a big question mark this week heading into that game at Kansas, is quarterback health. Spencer Sanders has been dealing with questions about his shoulder basically since the TCU game, but he's played through it. He's very tough guy. So he's handled a lot of pain, I think. But last week at K-State, when we saw him leave that game, ultimately, he was showing as much pain visibly with his shoulder as I think we've maybe ever seen him show in a game when he was hurt. So is he available? I'm sure they're doing everything in their power to get him ready to go. He'll probably want to be out there, even if they have to duct tape his arm, into place. I mean, but I just don't know. I don't know what his level of health is and how effective he's going to be. I think I saw something the K-State defensive coordinator said today that, they'll be the same offense regardless of who their quarterback is. Well, if you're playing a 4th-year starter or a walk-on who's never started before, I'm not sure I believe that. So that Spencer Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks in the conference, and so to not have him would be a huge thing. And obviously any loss at this point would almost for sure knock the Cowboys out of that Big 12 conference title game conversation.
Yeah, they have very little margin for error for sure. Whereas, somebody like TCU has all the margin, going undefeated thus far. I still think a fall is coming for the Frogs, and it's probably that game at Texas where Gary Patterson will scheme up something for his old team,
It's a great point.
Yeah.